Hello there, this is Dana Arcuri, author, speaker, survivor, and advocate from danaarcuri.com. And today's topic is narcissists and flying monkeys are watching you. Yes, that's right. We must understand that when we either go low contact or no contact with toxic people, this does not mean they reciprocated. So just because we walked away from very unhealthy relationships, very dysfunctional family members, this does not mean that they just suddenly let it go, that they forget about us, that they stop trying to contact us, that they no longer try to watch us from a distance. Instead, we must be aware that we're dealing with people who are psychologically unstable and that they typically will be following us, will be stalking us, mobbing us, and continually trying to cause harm, even if it is over the internet and via social media. And the one thing too we have to keep in mind, and this is something that I've discovered for myself very recently. Okay, so we're dealing with this pandemic in which we're told to self-isolate, to quarantine, to have social distancing. And the thing is, while we are doing so, and we might be finding productive things to do with our time, our energy, our resources, our talents, and really trying to stay calm, these people who are unhealthy and unstable, they're restless, they're fearful, they're panicking. And so their go-to resort, what they're actually doing, they're spending a lot of time stalking us. They're mobbing us. They're watching us from behind the scenes on social media, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, your blog, your website, LinkedIn. There's so many different forms of social media. You know where you are. You know your accounts. They do too. Trust me, they know exactly where to find you. It might not be face-to-face. It might not be over the phone, but they know where you are and they know how to find you. So let's chat about this. Okay, so what happens is we're no contact or we're low contact. We are trying to move on with our lives, to build a new life, to start a healing journey. We're so happy and embracing our freedom. This is something so beautiful and awesome, and we're really excited to finally put these toxic people in the past behind us. But it's not something that they want us to put behind. They're so vengeful and hateful and so outraged that we're actually moving on with our lives and that we're productive people. We're living out our dreams and our passions and our strengths and our talents, and we're healing. This really fires them up, and this is why they want to cause us some problems. This is why they want to stalk us, bully us, harass us, and continually cause a three-ring circus. They thrive on drama. Next, we have to understand that it is common for scapegoats, the black sheep of the family, to discover that the narcissist is going to recruit the flying monkeys to keep an eye on us, the scapegoats, the black sheep of the family. Okay, so what happens is the narcissist will always recruit the flying monkeys who are stupid enough to do it, fall into the trap, and they'll do whatever the narcissist demands them to do, because remember, they don't want to be like you, getting shamed and blamed and your reputation destroyed. So they're trying to be a people pleaser and doing whatever the narcissist demands them to do. And that means that they're watching you. They're stalking you on social media, and then they're going to report back to the narcissist with great details. And so everything is used against you. Even if your life is going well, going smoothly, you're healing, you love your freedom, you're rebuilding new relationships and a new life, and you're forging ahead. You are a survivor. They are so upset, just in a tizzy over it, that they'll do anything to try to bring you down. Next is when you are no longer in contact with a narcissist and say, for example, the toxic family members or your toxic ex. You have to understand that these unstable people will intentionally punish you for forming healthy boundaries and for going either low contact or full-blown no contact. So whether you occasionally see these people who are possibly your family members, possibly your boss, you're kind of stuck if it is your boss in the workforce, or any kind of nasty, narcissistic employees, coworkers that you might be stuck working with, that might be different. You know, this is your job. But for those of us where it's our family, we have to understand they will punish us. They will outright find a way to hurt us, and oh, do they know what buttons to push? They are malicious. They'll stop at nothing to bring you down and cause you harm. Next, we have to understand that even if you cut one person, so say for an example, you decided to go no contact with your narcissist father. We're just going to give this as an example. So you're no longer in contact with him. Now, what will happen is this. The narcissistic person will turn around, create horrible, horrible rumors about you, will triangulate your relationships with your siblings, with all the relatives within the family, even family friends, an effort for the narcissist to get everybody on his side. You know, this is what they do. This is part of the viciousness and the psychological abuse involved in family dynamics that are so dysfunctional. Next is we have to understand that when there is one person and we're no longer in touch with them, we're no longer communicating in any way at all with them, or it might be very minimal, they will find a way to bring other people into this relationship that's not working with you and them, and they'll turn around and they'll spread rumors about you. They'll say things that are not true about you. They will triangulate every single relationship they could possibly harm and destroy, and that is what they do. This is what they know. This is one of the bags of tricks up their sleeve that they constantly use. Next is the narcissist will always recruit the flying monkeys to do their dirty work. That is how it works. Also, that they want the flying monkeys to watch you, to keep track of you, to spy on you. And oh boy, the narcissist is just waiting to get news about what you're doing and what's going on in your life. And next is that people who have a sound mind. Now, this is really important. If there's nothing else you learn in the video, please let this be the number one thing that you soak in and really understand and grasp. Anyone who has a sound mind would not be the type of person to be harassing you, bullying you, stalking you, mobbing you, spreading rumors about you. So someone who has a sound mind, they're a productive person in society. They're going on with their life. They don't have the time, energy, patience, or resources, and they're stable. So they're not creating chaos in your life. So we have to understand that those who are creating chaos, who are creating all of this drama and denial and deception and dysfunction, deceit is just ongoing. We have to understand they're not stable people. They're very unhealthy. They're unsafe. And we must also know that this is very common. You know, a lot of times people don't understand this. They might not be fully educated. They might not be fully aware. But this is why it's vital for you, if you are the black sheep of your family or you are a scapegoat, not by choice, just somehow that's the way things ended up in your family or with an ex-boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, or what have you. You have to understand that sometimes this is just the way things turned out. You know, it's not just like, hey, there's a broken relationship and we're just going to go separate ways and we're just going to say, you know what, it's not working. Let's end it. Let's just move on and start afresh. Instead, it's these malicious, hostile people who cannot let it go. Do you understand? The narcissist will never, ever forgive you. They will never, ever let it go. They don't want to let you go because you are their narcissistic supply. They needed you. You fueled their fire. And now that you're gone, those flying monkeys are upset too, because there's a good chance there's a lot going on with a lot of fights, a lot of chaos, a lot of drama within the family unit because you're no longer there. You're no longer the target. So someone's getting verbally abused, someone's getting physically abused, someone else is getting harmed, you could guarantee. And so that might give them the motive, that person who might become this new scapegoat. They may be so upset and so distraught that they will try to come after you. They want attention on you, not them. Okay, next we have to understand this also. If people were innocent, if they did nothing wrong, if they had pure motives, they're good people, good-hearted people, they're truth tellers, they're trustworthy, they're credible people, they have good ethics. We have to understand that they would have nothing to fear. But see, what happens is this. They know that you, the scapegoat, the black sheep of the family, have a lot of dirt on them. And because you know so much about them and all the nastiness that they do, you know all their little dark secrets, they are terrified that you are going to expose them. And so that's why they want to keep you quiet. They want to hunt you down. They are going to be watching you from a distance because, are they outraged that you are talking about them, that you know about all their dirty, rotten secrets and all the things that they have done that is abusive. It could be even crimes. There may be people who are within your family, such as myself even, who have relatives who have committed crimes, and you are fully aware of it, and they don't want you blowing the whistle. Oh, people, please speak up. Be brave. Have courage. Blow the whistle on the narcissists, on the flying monkeys, and on all predators, especially those who commit child abuse and sexual assaults. We must not remain quiet to keep abusers comfortable. Next is we have to be aware that these people who might be, whether it's the narcissistic boss, boyfriend, girlfriend, ex-spouse, mother, father, siblings, whoever it may be that you know is a flying monkey and a narcissist, we have to be aware. They created alias accounts. They know that you know their account, so they're going to switch it up. Okay, so you need to be aware. You need to be on guard. You need to be alert. You need to be ready. Prepare yourself because they're going to create an alias account. They might call their account something to do with narcissists. They might pretend that they're actually advocating for people who are scapegoats. Lies. They're all lies. This is just their little in. This is just their little way to try to watch you and have you not even aware of who they are. Alias accounts are a big thing. I have seen my own siblings and their disgusting, despicable husbands and children and in-laws, so many of them create these alias accounts. And again, it's just like report, block, delete. Report, block, delete. Document, screenshot. Oh, you bet. You bet I'm keeping track because you don't know when you're ever going to have to seek out some help, some legal help. So let's move on. Whether it's your narcissistic spouse or ex, whether it's your parent or your siblings, it drives them nuts that they can't control you. Do you understand? They used to want to abuse their power, especially abusive parents. And now that you're no longer part of the family dysfunction because you stepped away, you cut the ties, they're going nuts. They can't stand it that you are not part of the family dynamics because they used to love to mistreat you. You used to be the person who they used to play the blame game, the shame game, and they loved it. And now that you're not part of the picture, it's driving them nuts. The narcissist especially is suffering because they don't have their narcissistic supply. Next is that We have to remember they are all emotional vampires. They're searching for a way to lash out at you. This is what they do. This is what they know. This is what they're all about. They will stoop as low as they can go in effort to bully you, create drama, and spread rumors about you. They will trash your name and rub it in the mud. That's what they like to do. Next is they could claim that we're the crazy ones. But guess what? Who's the one stalking? Who's the one mobbing? Who created alias accounts? Who's the one who's spreading rumors and retaliating? Who's the one that is working so hard to chase after you and spy after you and everything you're doing? They want to know what you're up to. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so they call us crazy? Yeah, let's think twice about that. They're the crazy ones. Next, their motives are covert. They intend to get as much information about us as possible. They will use it against us even if there is nothing negative going on in our life. They'll make up stories then. They don't care. They're good at deception. Next, I myself have been no contact with my toxic siblings for 1.5 years. Okay, so I had cut the ties, and I have been no contact with my mother for over 1 year. Now, I have experienced a lot. Like 2019 was very eventful. And I could say that a huge portion of 2019 was being stalked, psychologically abused, harassed, bullied, and so much BS going on with my toxic siblings, their families, their children, their in-laws. Oh, they recruited a whole new bunch of flying monkeys. So it wasn't just my siblings I was dealing with. I mean, we're talking, they had like 45 people come on board. They think I don't know? Oh, trust me. They think they're spying on me. Oh, I've got ways to know what they're doing too. And it doesn't take a whole lot to see the ridiculous alias accounts and the things they say. Very, very simple to know who they are and which exact person it was. And you know what? All I have to say is, you know what? Some of them need to go back to grade school because they don't even know how to spell. And I have documented everything. That is something we need to continually do. Take as many screenshots as possible, document everything because you may need it in the future. Next is we have to understand that it's not coincidental that my toxic siblings just suddenly stopped stalking me. Okay, so it appears that things got silent. Things got silent. Oh no, just because things are silent doesn't mean they're not watching you. Trust me, they're watching you from afar. Even if you're not seeing anything suspicious, trust me, they're still watching you. They're still waiting. They're still making up all kind of covert tactics and sly moves to try to bring you down, to try to humiliate you, to try to destroy you, your job, and your future, and other relationships. And so here we go. Oh man, the drama just keeps going, people. So here we are into this whole thing with social quarantine and social distancing when out of the blue, my husband receives a text message from my nephew, who happens to be the oldest son of my oldest sibling, who I consider quite untrustworthy and toxic. And so it's very interesting. Wow, we haven't heard from him in over 3 years, and just suddenly, out of nowhere, he decides to text my husband asking how we're doing. Oh, sure, he's real concerned. You know, that's just a crock. It's just BS, and I see through the smoke screen. So, after we received this interesting text from my nephew, I got in contact with my adult son, just kind of asking a few questions and giving a little shout out on, hey, this is the reminder, everything about me is confidential. You are not to give any information about me to any of my relatives. And I'm just kind of, just keeping things clear in communication with my son and I. And I'm like, hey, have you heard from anyone? Oh, how How ironic. So the same night that my husband received a text message from my sister's son, my son received a call from the same person. Oh, wow. I don't consider that coincidental. I definitely connected the dots. So here it is. Here it is. Please understand this. They can't get to you. They don't have your phone number. You may have blocked them. You may have changed your phone number. You may have moved clear across the United States. Many people who have gone no contact have made some real big decisions, life-changing decisions in their location, their jobs, contact information, addresses, and so forth. And so understand that that doesn't mean that the toxic siblings and the narcissist aren't watching you from a distance. They will try to find information about you. So what they do is they will contact people who you are closest to, whoever are your close friends, who are your children, your spouse, or your boyfriend, or your girlfriend, people who are part of your life right now. Oh, they're going to contact them. That's what they're going to do. And that is how they try to get information about you from these other people who you're friends with or who you're family with. You know, this is how it works. So you need to be aware. You need to build awareness about this and educate yourself and just kind of understand that just because you're not in contact with them doesn't mean they're not watching you from afar. Next is we have to understand that, you know, I don't buy into all this stuff. My son and I chatted. You know, I asked him, hey, you talk to my nephew. In the meanwhile, you haven't talked and seen each other for a long, long time. You know, that's a red flag. So I said, why did he call you? Did you ask him, why are you in touch? What's going on with you? Well, yeah. So my nephew claimed, are you ready? This is good. Oh, I'm so worried about you because of this pandemic. Oh, I'm so worried about you. I just wanted to make sure you're okay. No. I see through the smokescreen. This is a bunch of BS. No, he's not worried. My goodness, my nephew hasn't been in touch with me for over 3 years. My husband and I haven't seen him or talked to him for such a long time. And my son has not been in contact with him either for a very, very long time. So, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to put this together, people. What does it mean? It means my toxic siblings, again, are trying to find another way, another tactic to try to find out what is she up to? What is she doing? How can we create more chaos in our life? I get it. But I'm ready. They think they got all kind of wonderful sly moves. Oh, they're messing with the wrong people. I guarantee you, they don't know what's coming their way. We have to understand that we are not going to respond to these toxic people. So if they do get in touch with, whether it's your husband, your wife, your children, your coworker, your boss, your neighbor, if they're trying to find information about you, number one, don't respond. As far as to the toxic people, do not respond. See, what they're trying to do is stir the pot. They want you to cry and to scream and to feel fearful and to be scared. No, I'm not scared. I'm a badass, and I have been through so much worse. I mean, if you could live through child abuse, if you could live through narcissistic abuse, if you could live through Cymbalta and benzo hell and fibromyalgia and sexual assaults and statutory rape and your sister's husband sexually assaulting you, trust me, this is minimal compared to that. And as far as the pandemic, same thing. If you could survive all this other crap that you've survived in your past, trust me, you could survive whatever else is going to come your way today. And we have to understand now, we're not going to respond to them. Instead, we're going to be building awareness. We're going to be on the alert. Now, this doesn't mean we're going to be fearful or we're going to be panicking or we're going to be paranoid. No. Remain calm, remain cool and collect. You've got this, okay? You've come a long way. You are a survivor. You are a warrior. You have done the hard work. And you're going to continue walking the path to a wonderful new life that's ahead of you. I'm not sharing any of this to cause or create any kind of fear or paranoia. Instead, this is an educational video to help you build awareness, to understand that it's very common for narcissistic people and abusive people, sociopaths, and what have you, to stalk the scapegoat and the black sheep of the family. This is very common, and therefore, please build awareness. By all means, if you would feel unsafe for any reason or suspect that someone's following you, that someone is trying to get too close to you, as in knocking on your door, or things just are getting quite uncomfortable and you're just having like a real bad feeling, if something seems off and your gut intuition is saying like, red alert, something's wrong, trust your gut intuition. By all means, call the local authorities. The most important thing you can do is stay safe. If you yourself suspect or have experienced the narcissist and or flying monkeys following you, spying on you, watching you from a distance or even close up, you never know, you never know. Please share with me what they have done or what they are doing and how you're keeping safe. Remember that safety comes first. And if you have anything you'd like to share with me, feel free to do so. Like, subscribe, and you can go to DanaArcuri.com. Have a great day.